All right, good morning, traders. Welcome to the All Markets webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. We'll be going through the live order flow. All right, good morning, traders. Welcome to Bookmap. Understand the auction process and the participants that are within that auction. That's what order flow does. That's what we're going to be looking at, and they're going to be participating via their orders. That's how the market works. The market needs orders to trade. There is no market without orders. Order flow is the underlying foundation to the market. This is why order flow is so important, and Bookmap does an excellent job in showing that, not just in the current market, but also in the historical market. So Bookmap takes all of that order flow information and data. Here, let me just bring up Bookmap quickly. Here's crude oil, for example, and look at the order flow up here. Right, this is in the current market up here at 64.20. You see 307 contracts. It's still in the market. It's been in the market since I opened my Bookmap. And down here, now look at the order flow down here. This is demand on the bid here. These are orders down here. Current market in your dome, in your depth of market, or in your level 2 in stocks. But we can see when they came in, how long they've been in, because it's recorded and plotted on the chart via the heat map. Okay? And this is the insight that you can get. So look at this here. We trade down to this 50 level. Clearly, there was high liquidity there, and it transacted. Now, the question is are these passive buyers in here? Are they just... Is that it for the passive buyers? I mean, we see that they're loaded here again, ready to trade again below 50. The question is, though, about the aggressive demand in here, the market buy orders. Okay? Are they ready to start going and start lifting the offer? If they are, well, then it looks pretty good to trade up into this level of liquidity up here at this 85 or 86 level up here. Okay? Or is there still more supply by the aggressive sellers, the market sell orders? Is the market going to go lower? If it does, will it transact with these traders down here? This is what we want to answer. And we can get our answer by understanding the behavior in this auction process. That's what we're here for. Right, we're going to go through this in the live market. It's forward looking, and then we'll look for where price might be going next. All right, let me get back to the presentation. A few news items we have on Tuesdays. The onboarding webinar at 1 p.m. East Coast time. Okay, so we'll go through understanding how to get up and running with Bookmap. So you will log into the bookmap.com website. You'll be able to subscribe to data. You will need data for Bookmap. Once you have data, then you'll download the platform from the website, and then we'll install it, we'll run it, we'll go through the run options, we'll connect it to data, and we'll add the symbol in for you and get you up and running. That's what the webinar is all about. It's about a half hour, so it's Tuesdays at 1 p.m. If you have any questions, we're happy to go through it for you. We'll also continue to cover our new supply and demand setups course. It is on the Bookmap Learning Center. It is exclusive to the Bookmap Learning Center. Okay, so how do you get there? It's really easy. So just go to bookmap.com, and then on the education tab up here, click on that. And that'll take you to the Bookmap Learning Center. And then here, just click on the course, and you'll see 10 setups in here that we go through during these live webinars, in fact. So watch these videos so that you can understand what these setups look like, and then we'll see them in real time and cover them in this webinar. So it's a win-win in here. They're very short videos. You can see there's a couple minutes long each, but they're pretty dense. They go through the supply and demand in here, just like we were going through in crude oil. But we'll go through the setups in here and look for a higher probability setup and transaction. All right, so it's exclusive on the Learning Center. Go to bookmap.com and click on Education to get to the Learning Center. All right, and then our criteria in here. We'll skip over this. This is more about the Bookmap Academy and getting up and running there, and the criteria we look for in our trades. Okay, so if you're interested in that, well, you can go to the Bookmap Academy webpage. General disclosure: all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's jump in. Let's take a look. We'll come back to crude oil and take a look here. It looks to me, I mean, you can see the sell-off here. The question is, is there still supply by the aggressive sellers here, the red dots? To me, it kind of looks like it's still. So I'm looking to see if these sellers come in and trade and transact into this high liquidity here on the bid. These are where the buyers are. Let's see if the sellers are interested in transacting with the buyers. All right. Jump back here. Oh, thanks, Dan. Dan put the link to the onboarding webinar there for you guys. All right. And let's take a look at the S&P E-mini. Jump over and take a look here. I've got the VWAP line on here. Now, I also have it in the TraderMap Pro filtered version here. And maybe we'll take a look at that. All right, so you can see the 9:30 cash open, the move to the upside here. We see a reversal take place, okay, about 15 minutes into the session. I hope you guys caught this. This is almost picture perfect for a reversal pattern. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of you guys caught this. It's beautiful. Would have been better to see maybe it trade up into this high liquidity up in here, but look at the sellers come back in. Look at the retest here, 3. Can't get up higher, can't even get up above this structural area. Okay, so this is a structural area here, right? You can see this this swing here. This is the shoulder. Here's your head, and then here's the other shoulder over here. Okay, this is really pretty. Now, look at this in here. A vertical line here, right at the head, in fact. Okay, look at the buyers over here and the green dots and the green bars. Look at the transition from buy side to sell side. Okay, it doesn't get much better. This is quite a good example, I think. And then look at the buying up in here. They can't even get back up into this structural area here. Can't make it. And they're trying in here a few different times. Can't do it though. And we start to go back down. Here's your little low volume pullback here. Here's another one here. This is really, really beautiful. Look down here. You see the buyers coming in compared to the sellers. Even here, look at the buyers coming in compared to the sellers. Okay, this says sell side all over it, it's a good example. We'll have to keep this in mind for some future content here. All right, so anyway, sell side only, and then look for taking this back down into high liquidity below the cash open here at 9:30. And then look at the retest here, guys. You just can't make this stuff up. This is a beautiful day, technically. You can see the move back to the structure here. Here's your low volume pullback again. So the low volume pullback, these are really good examples. And you'll probably see another one in here as well. Kind of, yeah, not bad. But anyway, the sellers continue to go below the swing, and here's the retest back to it, and then there's very little volume on the buy side in here, especially right here, right? And then you can see the sellers come back in again and move down to the liquidity levels down here at this 58.75. All right. Okay, so where does that leave us now? All right, well, are we starting to see another transition now? See, look at how the buyers are now starting to come back in. Okay, so down in this area in here, we have some interest by the buyers. Okay, so let's take a look at this, and you can see another little reversal pattern in here as well. Not bad either, not bad at all. In fact, this would be more of our trendline break and accumulation trade. In that setup, I'll show you where that is on the Learning Center. Okay, if you go to bookmap.com, and so yeah, go to bookmap.com, education, supply and demand setups, and then in here, it's this one here, the trendline break and accumulation. All right, so the other ones that we went through earlier, well, probably absorption and exhaustion, but the low volume pullback one is right here. This is a great setup. Take a look for this again and again. It works best in a trending environment. Okay, so anyway, this is the setup for the trendline break and accumulation, and this is what I mean by it here. Okay, so back up above, we've got a trend line break, and then look at the accumulation in here. Now, it also works kind of as a head and shoulders pattern, but you can see that we broke some structure here. Okay, now we haven't broken the horizontal structure yet until here, right? But look at the buyers come in. Okay, what about the passive buyers? Did they accumulate? Yeah, they did here. Okay, and a little bit in here, not much though. Okay, I'm surprised we did not trade into this 58.70 liquidity here, but we got buyers come back in. Okay, where did they go? Okay, they came back up to the structural area where it broke from. Okay, and you can look for that again and again and again. All right, so let's continue on, and let's see how these buyers are behaving. Okay, so not bad, not bad. Okay, coming back up to where we broke below the open here as well. Okay, so we're retesting that open right now. All right, let me see if there's any questions. It's a good review there, and let's see. All right, trading is life. You're done for the day. Okay, excellent. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, Alois, yeah, technically, like looking at it, everything was looking great here, but we had some news. Yeah, I agree with you on that. There's no question. Like, you know, we want to be flat before the news. But anyway, you cut the move down. Trading is life, doing the trend line break and accumulation. Absolutely. It's really all the same stuff. You know, that 1, 2, 3 pattern, it's really all the same. So, you know, this can be head and shoulders pattern. You can look as a trend line break and accumulation as well. There's one here. There's another one here. Or, you know, if you want to draw it that way, you can even draw it this way here, right? Doesn't matter. But the important thing is about understanding the structure. Let's clear all these drawings and understanding what's happening in the order flow in the structure, because this is really the key. It's all about order flow. This move up into high liquidity along the way. Okay, I'm surprised we did not trade up into this 59.20 or this 18 liquidity in here. Maybe we traded up into a little bit of it. Okay, we just didn't find buyers up here. They did not want to tangle with these sellers, okay, that passive supply, these limit sell orders here in the heat map. So what happens? Well, the auction ends up here. It's finished. And then we rotate lower, and we see sellers down here. They break this structure and they trade into this liquidity down here. Okay, so we're seeing a flow, a change here. From the demand, aggressive demand to the aggressive supply. Okay, the red from green dots to red dots, and there's our transition. Okay, so and we trade into high liquidity in here. We get a pullback, no demand, very little demand. Look for the selling to come back in. Here's your flag pattern right here. Here's another one right here. I mean, this is where trading is life. The beauty here on this trend line break and accumulation, or this reversal pattern in here, is once you've got it, then you can apply the next setup in here and add into it as you get better. Okay, I'm not recommending that people implement this immediately, but once you've got your setup in here and you're looking for it to make its measured move, or hit that high liquidity, then you can start to look for scaling in on low volume pullbacks, because this is pure, oh God, I mean, like everyone covers it. It's pure Wyckoff though. This is your distribution. This is your markdown period. We want to be in the markdown period after getting the distributional change here and shift that we covered earlier. And then we're looking for splicing into it and really taking advantage of it in here, and maybe even scaling into the trades as they unfold. Okay, because now we want to take advantage of the markdown period. Okay, now it unfolded, and then this is another distribution. It's a redistribution is what the Wyckoff method describes here, and then we get this sell-off in here. Now this was low enough to find some buyers though. Okay, so and we're seeing that, and they're retesting back up into these areas in here. Let's see, so you entered right after the break of the, oh, I see, okay, got you. So you got in right in here after just after the news. Yeah, beautiful. That's a good trade. Going with the trend. The news comes out, a little bit of volatility in here. Okay, and more selling down at the low in here. Look for the follow through. All right, guys. Let me see if there's any other questions in here. We had it. I don't know about you guys. I mean, like on Friday's webinar, let me just kind of cover this, and let me see if there's any questions over here. Okay, Luis. Yeah, I'm using Global Plus. Yeah, thank you, Luis. Luis and Alois. All right, so all right, let's take a look at this one here. We're trading up into high liquidity up here. There we go. Okay, and I got to put some stops and icebergs on here, and you guys had questions about all that. We're still in markup period right now. Okay, I don't see anything. If we're going to be covering some Wyckoff, then we're still in markup period. But is this it? Okay, did all of that demand meet the supply and that's it? I don't know. We need to see. We need to see the shift in the change in the order flow for us to believe that. Right now, I'm still seeing demand. Okay, now here we go though. Let's take a look at this. Okay, here we see the supply and the demand, they meet. We see a double top up here, and we don't see any demand. Okay, so it retested back up here, and we don't see demand. All right, so does that mean like we can go short in here? Let's take a look at it. And we're missing it. But let's see if we get a little bit of a low volume pullback in here. No, it's not low volume. That's not it. We're not ready for it. Okay, so let's move on from that. Yeah, I was going to cover I Friday's webinar, it was a tough session in a lot of ways. So it was this webinar here. Heck, where is it? 2 days ago. It must have been. I thought I called it probing the market. Order flow swings. Live auction theory. Okay. Well, anyway, yeah, we talked about probing the swings, the highs and lows, and the market did that a lot. Let's actually jump back to our candlestick chart here, and we'll take a look at Friday's action, because boy, that was a tough session during our webinar, and it was in here. We saw this move to the downside here, right? Was it here? I'm sorry, it was, yeah, May 30th. Okay, so it was this move to the downside. And then we came up and filled the gap. This is it here. So we filled the gap in here. We saw that. We were looking sell side. Okay, we saw the reversal pattern in there, and we were sell side because we saw this huge gap and this big move down. So we, during the webinar in here, it really chopped in this area in here quite a bit. It was challenging. Okay, because we were sell side and we're looking sell side. The market kept on probing higher, trying to find buyers. Okay, knocking people out. And then we finally got some follow through here after the webinar ended. And then we see a pullback here, and then we really see some follow through here. Okay, we were looking for a move back down to some of the swing lows in here. Or maybe some of the swings, even down in this area in here, I think. And those were our targets for the webinar. Well, you can see what happened due to some fundamentals, and this relates back to our process in the academy. We put this our outlook together for the day. We are sell side. So we're looking for the sellers to drop it. It just kept on probing higher, knocking people out. It was a pretty ugly session, and then we finally get the follow through. Funny enough, look at the buyers come right back and go to highs of the day, and yeah, amazing. I just this move in here all the way back up, pretty crazy stuff. But you can see it went above the swing in here and it's failed. And we're right back down. Okay, so very choppy action within that session while we're looking for the follow through to the downside. Okay, and we'll deal with that. We have to deal with that chop during these sessions, and we'll have to go through how we're going to deal with it. Either we step aside and we don't trade, we look for our setups, or we have a new setup that we're looking for. We know exactly what we're looking for, and either way is fine. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, I wanted to cover that because it was challenging. The issue is right here, though, is to put our playbook together and our criteria, and this is what we use for the Bookmap Academy. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Impetus, number one, what's moving the market? Okay, we want to know that. This makes our life much easier. This is way before any setup. Also, our key high-level time frames. Where are they? We should mark those up. Okay, it could be as simple as high of day, low of day, or previous day, previous week. Maybe the overnight session. It might be your point of control from last week or for the month, or I mean, there's all sorts of things. VWAP, you might be looking at average true ranges, etc. What are your key time frame levels? Maybe it's Fibonacci's, maybe it's floor trader pivots, but you should know them and they should provide you an edge. Then time of day. Okay, what time of day and what is the activity during that time of day? So for example, it's 10:30 East Coast time, 10:35 East Coast time here. Typically, the momentum move is over around 10, and then we get into chop, typically. Then we see some sort of reversal pattern shaping up, and then a lot of times it may fail, and then we see a continuation of the trend. Okay, so if we know that in the time of day in here, then we're going to look at our setups, and we're going to go through. You're going to choose your setup and your strategy that you want to trade for that day, and you're going to look for it. Okay, or setups. Okay, how is it setting up? And then this is going to put you all in line with a higher probability outcome. Okay, then we're going to go through the checklist and look for our order flow events. Okay, in the Bookmap Academy, we're building out our playbook, and a simple way to do this is take one setup, create 20 markups of it, and then build out that playbook so you know what you're looking at. All right, so let's jump back in and let's take a look here at Bookmap. All right, so we're still in that markup phase, right? So here we go, and we're trading up into supply up here and through it. Wow, look at that. Okay, so we didn't know that was going to happen. I thought we'd hit this right here, and that would be it, right? We'd come back down and hit this liquidity on the bid down here. Okay, but look at that. We're not only into it, we're through it. So we're looking at the next level of liquidity up here, 59.20. Now we're going to be at highs of the day if we trade up there. Let's zoom out a little bit and let's take a look at this here. So here's this beautiful reversal pattern. Here's this beautiful move to the downside. And now look at the transition yet again in here. Okay, buyers coming in and retesting back up into some of these highs. All right, well, here we go, right? Back down to where it just broke out from. Okay, this is going to be a really big stop run here. Okay, this is the environment I think we're in right now. We talked about this on Friday, this probing, this testing, and these stop runs in here. So let's turn on our stops and icebergs, and let's take a look at them. Okay, they're on. Just need to select them. And it's in the subchart. Okay. All right, so there's a big stop run. Actually, look at this too. We have a stop run as well as an iceberg. This is another, now this is a confluence to look at. Okay, order, like we talked about this on Friday, order flow rules first. The stops and icebergs show you details within the order flow. It will show you specific order types that are transacting within the order flow. And that's amazing. So what we're looking at here is hidden orders. These 284 up here are larger players. It was an iceberg order, a hidden order. Only a part of it was in the order book. The rest was hidden, and it was fully executed though for 284 contracts. Okay, pretty big transaction. I don't know if any of you out there are trading 284 contracts. I am certainly not. Okay, if we zoom in here, we'll see all the details here. Actually, there are multiple icebergs in here, and if we zoom back out, they kind of aggregate together and show us 284. All right, here's a stop run in here. Okay, what is a stop run, or what are these? Are stop order transactions here. Here's 83 on the way up here as the order book was completely like swept here up into this liquidity. Okay, and here's our stop run here. It actually is only at one price level, interestingly enough. So what does that mean in here? That means that this in here is a larger player swept the order book. They're long. Okay, or their position, maybe they're covering, but whatever the position is, these are aggressive buys. Okay, and then up here, any orders that were filled in here along the way that were stops were completely stuffed. Okay, this is how you get slipped. A lot of poor retail traders are up here. 83 of them got filled at 59.13. Regardless, if you might have had your stop down here. Okay, well, this order here has precedence. It trades first. Okay, the aggressive market order trades first, and any other orders along the way that are triggered or acted upon will trade next. And that's what happened up here. And that's how you get slipped, right? So it's pretty ugly stuff, but that's the way it works in the market. All right, so let's jump back here. Do I use any other add-ons besides Sniper Trader is asking, do I use any other add-ons besides stops and icebergs? I really like the stops and icebergs. I don't really use many other add-ons. I try to keep things really simple for myself. I like to see the activity though, the nuances of the order types transacting in the order flow. I think it's amazing transparency, and I think it adds to me coming up with this possible scenario of understanding that this move here is a big stop run. And then I also see that the market went a bit higher, but we see all these icebergs getting filled along the way. So are we going to make it back up to here? Well, if this buying in here are people exiting because of stops, then we're not going to make it up to here. We have to find a new buying to come back in. And I'm not really seeing it. I mean, we can see it in here. Okay, that's not bad. Not bad at all. But they're not able to make it very high. Here's the retest here. And we have exhaustion here. Hey guys, this is a pretty good example of exhaustion. The market traded up into this area up here. This transacted, this liquidity transacted, but there's no more aggressive buyers. It has nothing to do with the liquidity. It has everything to do with the aggressive buyers. Who is transacting up here? Nobody, right? There's a little bit of selling in here, in fact, okay, on the way back down, right? So right in there. So this is our last buyer, okay, right in here. That's our last buyer. And the auction has now failed up higher. So this is really good to see. So we understand now a context, Sniper Trader. Okay, we can't get back up higher. Now we also have all of this move in here that gives us some insight that you know, it's new, or I'm sorry, old buyers in here, or people that were, a lot of people that were short. And they're getting stopped out, and we're not really finding, well, we do find some new buyers in here, and then we know that people got stuffed up here, okay, the selling, and now we're below that area here at this 59.10, and we see new selling coming in. Okay, so now that makes me think, well, okay, I'm looking for shorts then. Is this the distribution that we see so far? You know, from buy side to sell side? Maybe. Maybe we'll see back up in here. Is there buying interest again? So this is a way that I'm starting to integrate, well, I have for a long time, integrate stops and icebergs within the order flow. Okay, is understanding the context in here. Okay, now we can start to look for some setups. Okay, and it has to meet our checklist. Okay, now you might not have seen, you might have, you know, gotten in here someplace. this happened pretty quickly, it'd be kind of difficult, but you can certainly get it on the retest. Okay, you know, is this going to start to trend? Is this a new kind of distribution and it starts to trend to the downside? Question about the blue line down here is, and it was just deleted, it looks like. These are also stops and icebergs in the subchart. Okay, we've got them on chart as well as in the subchart. And this blue line here is showing you there's one iceberg here that transacted already for 5. And it's still in the order book here. It is still live. We don't know what's behind it. We just know that 5 have transacted. Okay, when it has an E next to it, and it's to the left of the vertical line here, then this is historical. All right, so let's take a look here. Yeah, the context is here as well, is what I was going to get at, dead hand. And it's beautiful stuff if we zoom in here. Okay, because you can see these are sell icebergs here. They move down, right? They are selling. It's these 284. Now it happened over time because this is aggregated, like I said. You can see many in here, and you can see it stair step down. You see it stair step up on the stops. The red line are stops. Okay, the axes are different in here as well. The red and the blue are on different axes, okay, which is fine for me. I like this setup here. In fact, let me show you the setup. If I go to it here, I'm looking at summation as the accumulation mode for the subchart here. Okay, so that means it's working like kind of like a cumulative volume delta. If it's a stop, and it's you know, a stop to the upside here, we know the position for the stop was you know, they're likely short, but it was a buy. The stop transaction was a buy. Okay, so we see the move to the upside. The iceberg transaction was a sell. Look at it crisscross in here. Now it's nothing like you know, MACD or anything like that. You're not looking for you know, the crossover here as a signal. It just gives you insight that, okay, I know that there's icebergs in here. As people are getting stopped out, there's larger players on the other side absorbing. The D is a good question. Means detected, Daniel. Okay, so that's what if we zoom into an iceberg, let's zoom into this one for 30 here, or there's a few in here. This one for 20. Okay, you can see the T is for transaction, the E is for fully executed. There might be a C at the end of it here, which means canceled. It means that iceberg was not fully filled. They canceled it before it was fully filled. And we don't know what was the size of that iceberg. We just know how many transacted. Once it fully transacts, though, we do know. Okay, now these are native icebergs to the CME. Right, now if we zoom into this T in here, you'll see there's a D. This is when it was first detected. That's what the D stands for. And then here's a transaction. If we zoom in here, like should be able to see the I think it's my volume settings, but we should see the transaction in here. Yeah, I'd have to fiddle with my volume settings, but anyway, we know that like one transacted here and another one transacted here. Okay, these are the icebergs. Okay. Okay. If you guys are part of the Bookmap Academy and you want to partake in the MBO this offering that we're having right now, you can get access for free to the stops and icebergs, but you have to be part of the Bookmap Academy and you have to start creating content for stops and icebergs. Okay, and we'll give it out for a month, okay, for you to try it out. Okay, We are very deadly serious though about we want you to mark up your charts, okay, using the stops and icebergs. Else there's no point. You might just kind of kick it around and say, oh, and I'm looking for this and it doesn't give me a signal. Well, that's a horrible introduction to stops and icebergs. We want you to create some content off of it so you understand what you're looking at and we know what you're looking at. We can give you feedback on what you're looking at. All right, because this can get kind of tricky, and we want you to have the best experience with it. So we'll give it out for free if you want. Try it out for a month, and then we will see some of your content and then help along in these webinars, also the Bookmap Academy. All right. Okay, so far just chop in this whole area in here. No insight whatsoever. Look at the same thing here on the move down, heavy selling. Look at the retest in here. I don't see that heavy selling. Okay, so this could be a potential double bottom pattern in here. And I don't see follow through on the buy side either. So we are just chopping around in here. Holy cow. Okay, lots of questions in here. Sorry. Oh boy, I'm sorry guys. Like all sorts of great stuff coming in. I didn't see any of this. I was looking over on YouTube answering some questions. Guys, if you want to come over here and on YouTube, you want to come over to the Bookmap Discord channel. It is free. It is open to all. You will need to be able to. You will have to have Bookmap login credentials. You can sign up. You don't have to have any subscription at all, though. Okay, so you can just come right in. We need you to sign up at bookmap.com though. All right. All right. Oh, some really juicy stuff in here. In the Bookmap Academy, let me just show you some of the discussion in here. Yeah, Laura's going back and forth with Alois and others on some of her setups. Looking at the 1, 2, 3 pattern. Gap fills. Yeah, I mean, boy, there's all sorts of stuff going on in here today. Well, it looks to me like the gap filled, right? Here. So we already see that the gap has filled. It's just retesting back up here again. But good one though. Again, it goes, we have something there as well from the Bookmap Learning Center. Let me show you. Okay, in that supply and demand setups course. We have the gap fill down here. We have opening range breakout trade. We also have this one, which we don't cover too often, and I developed this one especially for this webinar. The mid-morning reversal. Okay, because this happens to us all the time. It's very well, it's kind of tricky to see, but here's the idea. We're trending down here, and you look for the trend to continue. But what happens is the market can't. You can even see this reversal pattern in here: shoulder, head, shoulder, or trend line break and accumulation. But the retest here does break the structure, and it tries again in here, and it can't find buyers. Okay, so now you can see a cluster of selling in here, and you can look in these areas in here, especially in here, you see a little bit of exhaustion and selling come back in. So you look for trend continuation. Now this happened much later in the session though. In fact, it usually happens after we're finished at 11:30. But somewhere between you know, 10 and 11 is typically when we get this mid morning reversal type of pattern. Okay, sometimes it reverses and it continues to, it just reverses completely. A lot of times though, we get this double top, failure, and trend continuation. So the buyers try. Okay, everything's looking good. They make leg one, they can't make leg two. And this relates back to what Laura is talking about right in here. I kind of covered it in here a little bit differently. Is this Wyckoff spring, basically. But what it means is like the market kind of peaked higher, couldn't accept higher, comes back down, and you see the selling come back in. Okay, so this is not it here because it's making an equal high here, a double top. We covered it though in this one here, the flag pattern with a failed breakout. This is a really great pattern. Okay, so let me just show you this in here. And this is very similar to the Wyckoff spring. Well, it is basically the Wyckoff spring. Okay, so here's the move, the trend move down, the chop, it breaks out, but look at all this high liquidity up in here. Tremendous amount of liquidity. And the buyers make a new high from the swing in these three swings in here, and it's unsustainable. So it's basically, maybe it just knocks some stops out, the market rotates back in, and we get trend continuation. Okay, this is a great setup. Okay, so it's kind of like flagging pattern in here, as you can see it here. Let me open up my pen tool. Hold on a minute. Okay, is it? Let's try exiting it and entering it again. Okay, there it is. So here's our flag pattern, right? It's going back, it's going forth, going back and forth, and then it breaks out here from this area here, right? We can even take it further over here. Breaks out, fails, then comes back in. Okay, and then we get our trend continuation. You even get a low volume pullback right there, beautiful. Low volume pullback again, beautiful. Starting to pick up here. So, you know, you can start to target your high liquidity, or you know, you can look for another trend break and accumulation. Anyway, this is it here, and it's the I would look for, or suggest that you look for this Wyckoff spring in the direction of the overall trend. Okay, so it's got to be up in here. You're going to have much better luck with this. Else it's going to be a head and shoulders, really. Okay, makes sense. But this Wyckoff spring it's a move down consolidation, breakout that fails, then the selling comes back in. Other side of the trade here, you can take some off there. You can hold for a runner down to high liquidity on the bid. All right. This again, this is a really great setup in here. These are all really good setups in here. We'll look for them again and again here in these webinars. All right. All right, so where are we right now? Well, we can see price trying again in here, pretty choppy, and yeah, beautiful move to the downside, actually pretty beautiful move to the upside. And I don't really see much. I don't, if we can get back up here around this swing high around 59, 15 or 16, and we start to see some volume build, or maybe we see a lot of volume build right now. Let's take a look. Then I would look for the test up into here and maybe take some off. Okay, well, let's take a look. Here we go. All right, so let's try to get a pullback on that. Actually, let's go back to our TraderMap Pro version. Okay. Okay, there's a pullback. Okay, I see exhaustion here though. I don't want that. So I'm not interested up here. or here. I'm not interested on this pullback. Okay, I don't know. Trading is live, Laura, Alois. If I answered a lot of your questions, I'm kind of trying to read through, speed read through here. Yeah, I mean, it's funny, Laura, like some of these candlestick patterns. Well, I mean, you know, from what I understand from the history, it was Japanese rice traders, you know, centuries ago using these candlestick patterns. Markets are all the same since then on forward into high frequency environments, into this AI environment. And these patterns continue to um, present themselves. Okay, it makes sense too. Like a double top just totally makes sense to me. That, you know, like we get a move up into high liquidity, we get a retest back there and there's no buying, and we have maybe a cluster of selling down at the swing down here, showing that there's selling interest, but the buyers can't muster a break above the previous high. That's when we're looking for sellers to roll back in again and take it to the downside. Okay, it tried, it probed, it tried to get higher and couldn't. Okay, so that's you know, I think it will, these kinds of ideas in terms of supply and demand are always going to be in the market. Okay, regardless of who's trading it. Okay, good discussion there, Laura, on this 2B variation as well in the 1, 2, 3. Yep. Yep, same. So Wyckoff Spring 2B variation, yep, is the same. Similar though, shark. Okay. Richard, you're getting a good education in here. Really good to see. Can we get stops and icebergs to work with multi-book? So you mean Valley Fund? You mean multi-book in the for crypto? Is that what you're asking? And let me get to some other questions along the way here. Yeah, shark. I had said to you, like, I don't know, several months ago, like a year ago or so, like I always looked at I looked into the depth the 1, 2, 3 pattern and liked it very much, and then I just started to get into it, and this is like, well, God, these things are all the same. So I agree with Alois and yourself that you know, when it comes down to it, we're looking for the same things, whatever we call it. You know, like, is this a triple top in here followed by selling, you know? And then if that is the case, then, you know, we can take a position off of that, right? And then look for selling to come back down into maybe this level or this level down here, right? Maybe we'll just go for the bottom of the range here. Right, so exhaustion after trading into high liquidity up in here, no buyers up in here. Question is, do we get sellers? Starting to see them. Retest. Okay, sellers. I'm looking for sellers to try to take it down. Not far. We're in an uptrend. Right, I'm just looking for them to take it back down and retest some of these areas, probe and test some of these areas, and I'm willing to take a position off of that. Okay, if it doesn't work out, and this is counter trend trade, right? But if it doesn't work out, I'll just get out. Okay, I'm not anticipating it to really work very well, to be honest. It's not that high of selling, but I definitely have exhaustion, and I definitely have this absorption here and high liquidity here. Okay, so let's just see if there's a little more supply in here, and just to trade back down to the bottom of the range in here. That's it. Multi-book, yeah, we do offer it for futures. That's a good question. Valley fan, I don't know if it will work or not. It's a synthetic instrument at that point. You know, Bookmap's creating these synthetic instruments at that point. And if that is the case, then wow, look at that. Guys, we didn't know that was going to happen, right? But that's going to hurt a lot of people in a stop run to the downside here. Okay. So we're just looking for the test into, you know, maybe the swing here, but this little swing right here, I'm looking for it. Okay. Yeah, we got it. We didn't know. Anyway, but what did I go off of? High liquidity. Okay. Also, we have a key level up here too, right? We said this 59.16 or 15 area. It traded up there, and we see exhaustion after high liquidity transacted in here, and we see a cluster of selling. Those two things together, really, or three things. Okay, we don't have all the pieces for a great setup in here, but we have a couple of pieces. Okay, and we're willing to take a shot at it just for the demo of this webinar. This is, again, I always say this is not a trading room, but we will demo some of these ideas in here. There you go, Laura. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's trading is life. A good question about stops and icebergs and trying to keep it simple. Yeah, and Alois is referring you to Charles's webinar. Charles is excellent at explaining a lot of things, and his use of, or his understanding of Dalton and auction market theory with market profile and volume profile is excellent. Okay, he knows Dalton better than anybody I've ever come across. Heck, I mean, it's almost better than Dalton himself. Anyway, very articulate, and his use of stops and icebergs as well. So you might want to check out that. But let's go through a simple example in here. Okay, and then how can we start to understand it too? Okay, so okay, we traded up into this liquidity here. We do have a small stop run there. Okay, we trade a little higher. We see, you know, almost double the amount of stops up here. Okay, so it's still squeezing higher, and we're still finding people get stopped out. But this is not necessarily new buying here. Okay, here buyers aren't willing to take it to 17. They're just not. We can see here, this is the high of the day, okay, at 17.5 right here. That's what I have. You can see that we come up near it here, and we see exhaustion here. Right. So now we're looking for icebergs to absorb a lot of that buying pressure as well. Okay, I want to see people getting stopped out on the way up, and I want to see this absorption. So basically, with this setup of absorption and exhaustion, I want to see icebergs on the offer, as well as stops getting filled on the way up. Okay, and that would be a really nice confluence. Okay, look at this. See, now we trade down into high liquidity in here, and we have more absorption. Okay, absorption in the liquidity heat map in here. We also have some stop or some icebergs in here getting filled. Okay, getting filled. All right, and then now it's a little back and forth in here. There are 137 here on the offer too. Okay, now you can see this retraced all the way back up to where it just broke from up here. Can I show my heat map settings? Sure. Okay, now this is a little different, Rose World, because I'm looking at this TraderMap Pro version. You can use TraderMap Lite for free, or you can try that MBO bundle package if you're willing to create some content. You will get this TraderMap Pro version. Okay, it filters the heat map. There's an algo in there. Let me show you. It makes it look kind of choppy in here, right? Anyway, let me show you my settings. Okay, I'm going to right click in here and on the heat map and go to heat map settings. Let's go with this. Okay, so these are my settings right now with upper and lower cutoff. Okay, I have it on auto, but let's go to restore. Okay, now it should look the same as yours. And the restore looks pretty good to me. I like it as well. But I'm going to make it a little starker, a little more contrast, and I'll bring the lower cutoff up. And that's about it. So, somewhere around 55 or something like that. And it looks a little bit better to me. Maybe it's a little too bright. Maybe I'll dim it down a little bit. Okay. So basically, that's all I do on my heat map settings. Okay, it works quite well for me. Yeah, just start with that default and then play around with it a little bit. It should look very similar to mine now. All right, more sellers coming in now. Well, Scoot, you need to be a part of the book. You have to sign up for that Bookmap Academy. You will receive a spreadsheet in there, and you will need to create some content, basically from the Bookmap Academy area. Let me show you. Okay, so you'll need to go over to our Discord channel. Well, you're already in our Discord channel. But you'll need to go to, here's General Channel, here's Bookmap Academy, and you need to request, once you sign up for the Bookmap Academy, which you'll need to do from the website. Okay, you go to bookmap.com and click on the More button here, go to Bookmap Academy, and then sign up here. You can read through it as well. It's this whole process in here. Then you request a spreadsheet, and that's where you'll document your, okay, you're in the Academy. All right, so yeah, you need to get your spreadsheet and you need to document it. All you have to do is come into this Academy area here. We're not asking much. I think it's just a lot of people just get maybe nervous or think it's a lot of work. It's not. So in the Bookmap Academy area in here, okay, you can see, go here. Okay. All right. So yeah, you can see other people's content in here again and again and again. D&T Matter doing a great job. Here's Shark Blue. He posts some of his candlestick patterns and then his order flow patterns in Bookmap. And that's what we're looking for, is this, but with stops and icebergs. Okay. So just, take simple things, and like here, he's going right to it right here. Seeing an iceberg and it's following up the market here, being aggressive, the way it's canceling and following up at a different price level. Okay, so these are good models in here. The thing about that content, Scoot, is make it work for you. Okay, we just want you to understand these things well, and we want to give you feedback. Okay, that's part of our community. All right, let me go back to all markets. Yeah, thanks, Eloise. Yeah, you can request your spreadsheet in there. Okay. Okay, look at this. We're back to this crazy market again. You know, we saw that big move down. Well, you know, a pretty equal move back up and then right back down again and then right back up again. Okay, so I don't know. I don't know what to think of it. I was looking at some of the price action from Friday, trying to draw some conclusions from it in terms of setups, and it's not easy because basically here I'll show you kind of what I mean. Basically, it means as soon as you see this, like, you know, start to break, or maybe you see some of that absorption, you are in. You're not looking for any more confluence than that. In fact, here, let's just draw it up here. And then, you know, you're jumping back in, and that's a tough one to kind of swallow. But you know what you can do is look again for absorption and stops, maybe a small retest and no a break of structure, and then a small retest and no buying, right? Then you can start to look at it and go, okay, well, I'm going to go short, right? Based off of that, we're getting these big wild swings in here, and I'm looking for buyers down here. Okay, after trading into high liquidity in here. Okay, makes sense, because look at these moves in here. You don't get much of a pullback like in this move here. It just kept on going down until it hit high liquidity. Okay, so if that's the case, then we're looking for the same here. Okay, I'm looking for this to go down until we hit high liquidity. Where's the high liquidity? Well, they're bidding up in here a little bit, so maybe that's where I want to take some off, or maybe just take profit. Or do these guys pull and we come back down into some of the lower liquidity down here at these swings here? Okay, and this is, you know, if that's a strategy, then you're not looking for much confluence. You're looking for big swings. Maybe that's the way to look at it here. These big swings back and forth, pretty big price action swings to hit high liquidity and test and probe and then fail, and then test and probe and fail another side. It's pretty aggressive, you know, it's a bit of a gamble. I mean, they're all a bit of a, you know, a gamble, but like it's probability that we're trying to get on our side here. And if that is the environment we're in, then maybe that's that's a lot less of a gamble. Okay, makes sense. Like right now, you know, so we got in here. Okay, it's retesting back to this structure, and maybe we get buyers now. It already tested that high liquidity, or somewhat high liquidity, that we had mentioned here, right? And it's already bouncing there. Okay, so that's a little different than this move previously here. A little bit different. A lot of that liquidity is kind of pulled in here, as you can see. Some of it transacted here, but then some of this pulled in here. Right, so it's a little different. Right, so maybe we just chop around in here for a while now. Anyway, heck, you know, I don't mind it. I don't mind being aggressive. I like this idea in here. I'm not really sure how to judge it yet, and put this together into a really cohesive strategy. Right? I mean, maybe what we do is we're looking at this in here and looking at previous action and saying this is the environment we're in, and that's why I'm looking for it again to go back up above some of the swings, stop people out, fail, and then come back in and probe to the other side of the range and some of the swings. Thank you, Trading is Life. I can't say it enough. Great community to be a part of. It's a pleasure having you. Really, you've added a lot, and that's what's so great. Okay, so in fact, see these guys bidding up down here. I'm going to move my take profit to them. Okay, so because we trade high liquidity and we get a bounce, we trade high liquidity, we get a bounce. So therefore, I'm going to look for the same. This reminds me a lot of the NASDAQ, to be honest, guys. But the NASDAQ, several months ago. And it works like this. The NASDAQ now, just in terms of liquidity, it's so thin right now that the ES looks like the NASDAQ. All right, so this is kind of funny in here. So this little pattern in here, we'll see if here's our first move down, retest and retest. There's sellers down here. They couldn't bring it lower though. So what's up with that? So let's see if we get are we getting buyers back up into here? A little bit. Okay, if we get big buying back up in here, then I'll just close the position and we'll just take a couple ticks out of it. That's it. Okay, but I'm going with these buyers down here on the bid. Okay, here we go. So these buyers are coming back in. And let's see, do we exhaust up here? Or do they come and retest it back up in here? Okay, let's see it here. So we have a little trend line in there, and it's holding. Show you. Okay, so this is not what I'm looking for. If we don't get sellers come back in right now, then we will exit this, and it'll just be like basically a break even. Okay, it's starting to break. Okay. Okay, down to the bottom again here. I'm looking for it to break though. I'm not looking for it to hold. We see more sellers in here, so I want them to probe and explore down into this liquidity down here. So I'm not getting out. I will move my stop. At this point, I will move my stop to break even though. Right, because it probed and tested here and it failed up here. So I'm not looking for a probe. If there's going to be another probe and retest back up into here, then it'll probably break and come back up into the high liquidity at this point. Right, so then I'll just take the stop loss at break even. Does that make sense? The way I'm kind of, we saw the probe, we saw the test. It failed. It's back down here, and we had lots of selling down here, and we see more even. So if it comes back up and probes and retests back up here, though, I'm looking for it to probably break out. There will be a nice squeeze to the upside. Okay, Or let's see, another thing that's possible is more liquidity at a higher level in here, right? The order book is dynamic. It shifts, it changes. In fact, it looks like these guys down here pulled and added higher. Okay, so we're going to do the same then. And this is how you can kind of manage your trade using the liquidity heat map. Okay, all the way back up. And let's see if they're going to go for the swing. But probably naturally go for the swing up here. So, okay, we're stopped out at break even on that. So, you know, we gave up like a 4 point, you know, move or so. And I'm okay with that. It kind of gets to me a little bit. But you know, that's why a lot of times, you know, I like in the course videos, you'll see as you go through the supply and demand course videos in here, you know, consider taking some off at the bottom of the range. Okay, especially if there's high liquidity there. And I was assuming we'd get a breakout here. We didn't. We've come back and back in the range again. So just continues to chop basically. Let's cover this in here. Why bottom of the range, and why do I mention that? And there's a couple of reasons. Now look at our trade working out, right? Kind of shook us out basically. Market's really good at doing this. So let me cover this in here. Okay, so the bottom of the range and why taking some off. Okay, even if there's not liquidity in here. Is number one, you have a small winner or you have a winner. Take the win, move forward, build confidence in your strategies. Okay. So now look at it work out beautifully. This is the move we were looking for earlier. Okay. Now it's picture perfect. Okay. So yeah, we got shooken out of this trade. And it did exactly what we thought it was going to do. So here's why you know, I like it. I like to do this is take some off at the bottom of the range is because aggressively, if we just take a look at this, are sellers willing to break this range and maybe get trapped? And you can see they weren't. We came back up and retested again. And then here we found sellers willing to do that now. Okay, so now we have a new range. So you have a range here. We have a range here. Okay, because of this swing here. Now the question is, are sellers willing to take it down below that one? Okay, let's turn our heat map back on. Okay, so this is why a lot of times on these choppy days, we will see this. Market exhausts out, buyers come back in, and then we come back up into top of the ranges in here. Okay, so it's starting to set up now, potentially. Okay, are the sellers willing to take this lower? Okay, and then here we can even take a position on it. Okay, they are willing to take it lower. Okay, so let's see if there's one more potential in here. Maybe we see it kind of a stop run and then maybe a squeeze if we can get back up above that. Okay, so this would be kind of your head and shoulder, or for on a smaller time frame, if it turns into a reversal down here or move back up into the range. Okay, so now we're looking for a squeeze. So all of the sellers willing to take this lower in here, are they going to hold on, or are they going to get shaken out? And then we're looking for buyers now to take this back up and retest either up to here or here, this swing here, or up to this swing here where we broke from. Okay, I'm just going to take it up here, and it's only like a point or so. Okay? If we get it, we might not get it. Okay, so this is the continuation of that kind of probing and testing in these ranges in here. And then I think we still got a little bit more buying pressure to come up into this liquidity here. But we just got our target hit on that one. It was as a quick scalp. And again, it's not really, this is not a setup in here. This is kind of understanding and putting some orders in to demo some of these order flow ideas. And we're kind of in essence too, we're kind of working on a new strategy in here, or setup. Okay, in the choppy environment. And believe me, guys, if we can nail this one down, it can be immensely profitable. I mean, you can capture, out of this big move here, you could probably capture, I don't know, from like 08 on up to let's say 15 here, 14, 15. So there's 6-7 points right there. Capture it back down again. Add another 4 or 5 points. Then capture another one. But we have to understand the environment we're in. Okay. Let's take a bigger step back. Let's take a look at this one. And is this turning into a reversal pattern up in here? It looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. High liquidity, transition from buy side to sell side. Well, God, I don't see much buying in here at all, except for right in here, and more sell side. Okay, so maybe if that's the case, then this is the move away. Then let's see if we can get a break of this structure here and more sellers. Okay? And then we're looking for not just probing, we're looking for price exploration. Looks pretty good. Anyway, guys, it's past 11:30. This is the European close just ended here. Tom B is up next. Volume profile, market profile trader. He's excellent. Go over there to continue your learning. Look back again at some of these strategies and some of these setups in here, and start to integrate that within your method of trading. If it's market profile, great. If it's like patterns, great. If it's candlestick patterns, whatever it might be. Okay, Fibonacci levels, VWAP strategies, whatever it might be. But then look at the kind of order flow to put this together for the directional move that you're looking for. All right, thanks again, guys, and we'll catch up with you. Yeah, please hit the like button over there in YouTube, and come over to our Discord channel. partake in the community over there. Lots of good stuff over there. Let me just go through anything else in here in YouTube before we end it here. Mike, we'll have to go over the evolution of the iceberg another time. Yeah, we can see the whole evolution of it though, from when it was detected, transacting, moved, canceled, or fully executed. It's all in there due to the MBO data. All right, guys. Thanks for coming, everybody, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow. Okay? Yep. Take care. Bye-bye.